So we're just waiting the final round here. Erebuni against Nakamura. And well, earlier in the tournament, Rusty Soul lost his connection, and now Nakamura has disconnected. So maybe he's testing what amount of time he will get to reconnect. Seeing that Wesley Soul got some time to reconnect. But let's see. That would be quite. That would be quite epic. Well, no, not epic. It would be bad. So I'm guessing the final is now. Yeah, apparently Nakamura is connecting from the Atlanta Bread Company in South Carolina. That's what I said earlier. He played his first game against Grishuk in his car, apparently. Wow. So this is quite interesting. First place is 2,500. So yeah, they're playing for 1,500 basically. Second place has already secured $1,000. This is weird. This is weird. Okay, Nakamura is connected. He's saying he's reconnecting from the mobile 4G. So this is not without not without drama. Capilano Bridge. Uh-oh. He departed again. Oh man, this is amazing. Yeah, this is quite funny because earlier when Show got disconnected, Nakamura was saying rules are rules, and he had to be forfeited. But I guess the shoe was on the other foot, or is it? We'll see. Nakamura has connected. The game has started, and double fiancero. Black just plays solidly here. A solid setup, and we're bound to transpose to normal lines quite soon. After c4 will transpose to English-like play against the Queen's Gambit declined. But okay, yeah, finally c4 comes. Not much going on really. Black is quite solid, but this is a blitz game, and time is a big factor, and already about 8-second difference here for Nakamura. I'm wondering how his connection is. He's averaging 346 milliseconds. Could be an issue. We'll see. Knight a5, is there anything else? Okay, maybe knight e6, I'm not sure. Bishop e4. So maybe some issues on the c6 square. White will put the queen on f3. Play a piece to c6 at some point. I'm guessing queen f3. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have given that check. I was wondering if black could have attacked bishop on e5 somehow, but probably that was not possible because of some knight c6 moves. What happens if you take on e7 and go bishop d6 now? Isn't that a huge issue for black? I believe that's a huge issue for black. Yeah, it's a bit of a letdown that we don't get Wesley So against Nakamura here. I agree, but you can't really do anything about it. Bishop takes e7. He's gonna be down 2 exchanges. And white can simplify with rook takes d5 if he wants. That's what it did. Open file up the exchange and a pawn. The knight on a5 is dominated. Resignation. So 1-0 for Nakamura. Game 2. Another Hikaru, this time the modern. And now he goes c5. No double Hikaru. Bishop g4. Pressure on the d4 pawn. So some kind of knight c6, yeah. And he'll try to take an f3 and simply win a pawn, or give white a worse structure as a g takes f3. We can't take on d4 with a knight because takes, and queen a4 check. That's why he takes with the bishop. So if queen a4 now, there's knight c6 back. Now bishop d7 back. White has lost the pawn here. Pressure on c6 though. But I think now that black, after his next move, will get castled, and he's just simply up a pawn here. And I mean, okay, best case scenario, this is some kind of a Smith more of a white, but quite a bad one, having retreated the bishop to e2. So I think we can safely assume that white has no compensation, loses the pawn on e4. F2 is hanging. Looks like a complete collapse here by Erebuni. Bishop e6, preventing knight d5, knight c5. This knight can jump to b3 maybe. Yeah. The other knight enters the fray. Bishop e2 is threatened. We can give him a worse structure, being already up 2 pawns. This should be elementary for Nakamura. Or Nakamura. Nakamura! Rook c8. Simple play here. Up 2 pawns. Rook b1 is coming to simplify. This is e6, d5. This is just resignation time for white, but he keeps playing, so let's see the technique here. I'll probably play, well, yeah, I was going to say f6, but but then I thought maybe it takes longer for the king to enter, but we can go king f8, e7, d6. But first he takes care of the pawns on light squares, so he play, okay, now king e7, d6, and when he attacks the pawn, he plays g5, that's my guess. g5. Oh no, okay, now he has to play g5. Maybe even take, yeah. Either way, double connected pass pawns on the E and T file. And actually playing on here is just a monumental waste of time. King comes to E5. Nothing to get done. Bishop comes to e4, pawn to f3, king to f4. Nothing to be done. I mean, he has 1 minute 30, so I'm not even sure why or what he's trying here. Okay, finally, resignation. I mean, even if black loses everything here, it's gonna be a draw because it's the wrong colored rook pawn. So 2-0, and I guess if he doesn't lose the next game, he is again the champion. By many considered one of the best bullet and blitz players in the world, certainly for online chess. Magnus Carlsen managed to win the World Championship of Blitz recently, and well, he took over the #1 spot on the Blitz rating list, but Nakamura is not far behind, and he was the former world #1 in Blitz. Again with a b3, and yeah, usually he's just double fin Hikaru in here, and things transpose. People who regularly play b3 usually have a different flavor to it for white, but Nakamura just wants a middle game with all the pieces. There's not complete symmetry, and usually he plays faster, so he's leading on the clock, which is always a huge factor in blitz, especially 3-minute blitz, much more so than 5-minute bishop f6 looks normal, but didn't do that. Black shouldn't have any problems here really. One idea is to put the queen maybe on b7, play queen c7 to b7. It's knight f6, trying to control e4. And now I think my plan is quite logical. Put the queen on diagonal. So okay, trying to get a blockade on the d5 square. 95, did he bump or something? Takes 95. Well, black should be fine, but f3 is a nice move. You can't allow black to keep a blockade on d5, and now after e4, at some point you've disturbed the blockade and white has the bishop pair. So a nice move there, keeping the bishop pair, disturbing the blockade. So it felt like an isolated pawn for white, but it just wasn't. King h2 looks normal, yeah. Maybe they have a longer match here, maybe it's a 10-game match. Let's ask. How many games this match? So this looks like quite a safe advantage for white, with the big center and the bishops. Yeah, he can expand on the king side, even king g3. I mean, king g3 h4. Bishop f3 looks normal though. Bishop f3 h4 h5. One way to expand. Goes f5. Do what he has in mind. Okay, black tries to get counterplay. Okay, some weak pawns on the. Yeah, so they have a 6-game match. So the others were 4, but this is 6. So this is 2 more games. Well, this one is a draw, but
Draw?
this one's a draw. So yeah, potentially only one more. So look like the Nakamura had a nice advantage, but didn't find anything. So this game ended in a draw. That was the crucial part here, where things were simplified. Like d5, yeah, because takes f6. Okay, so if that's true, then this is the deciding game actually. 2.5 half. So if he wins, it's 3.5 against half. Yeah, a6 is Tiger's Modern from Tiger Hero Puzzles book. Called Tiger's Modern. This is the way he plays modern defense. A flexible and interesting opening. In the hyper modern style, you give white some space advantage, but you try and attack it later. b4 is an idea here. Okay, so he prevents that. b4 was an idea because e4 was hanging. This also prevents any knight g4. So now it goes knight b6, g4, h5. h5 a typical move to prevent white from expanding more on the king side with h5. White does have more space here on the king side, but on the other hand, he has closed lines, you know, the h5 for his rook and this diagonal for his bishop. So actually, black might even at some point castle here. So takes, yeah, he castles. So no immediate way to break through. With f5 you give up the e5 square, and it takes a long time to organize any sacrifice on h5, and even if you do, it's not any immediate checkmate. So black has sort of Sicilian type play on the queen side, knight e5, more or less blocking everything. f6, guess e6? Oh, d6 is hanging, I missed that, okay. But we can still play rook after d8. Oh, we can't, because b6 hangs, so maybe he messed up there. Possibly messed up. He took an f6, and ideally you wouldn't want to do that because you're opening up the potential of queen coming to h6, but now there's an attack on the f6 pawn. I think the Nakamura messed up here, but I wouldn't bet against it. Takes on c7, knight d5. Takes on e5 first, then knight d5. So white is up a pawn, so maybe a small comeback here by Erebuni after this, well, I think is a blunder by Nakamura. It's down a pawn, and the d pawn seems to be well protected. But like I said, I would not bet against Nakamura here. Rook takes d1, d7, d6. Okay, now f6 is under attack. So there's white returning the favor, or can't do anything about it. If black gets back this pawn on f6, then d6 might become weak, and actually Nakamura can think about winning knight d5, nice move. You can take on f6 now. And now things might start to fall apart for white. King f8, edging a little bit closer to this past d pawn. How do we increase the pressure on this pawn? Knight e5 might be coming. Worried about making luft for white, but okay, I mean, we can always think of d1. No real worries there. Okay, a3, e5, c6, and wins the d6 pawn. Unbelievable. So just a monumental breakdown here, really. And now white is offering a draw. Yeah, that's weird. Now it's just down a pawn. Attacking the bishop. So it looks like this will secure the title for Nakamura. He takes a3. Okay, the a pawn is weak. So now he's threatening rook f1 and knight c1. This could be dangerous. Not anymore. But he will be up a pawn here. So only black can win. Only black can win. He's trying to figure out if he had rook a1, rook b6, something like this. Maybe he did, but it seems quite safe. And I guess the key factor here is that Nakamura is leading by 22 seconds. Well, and 2 pawns now. Yeah, might be able to safely win here with black against anybody with that time. 22 seconds more. So, therefore, Erebuni resigns. And I think this means that Nakamura is the champion. The winner and still champion. 3.5 half. Congrats to Nakamura. So yeah. Let's see if we find something interesting here in the chat. So the tournament organizer says Cabra on the bridge has won the tournament. Let us all raise our glasses and clap our hands to salute this awesome achievement. Thank you everyone for playing in this event, and I hope to see you all again soon. And congratulations to Erebuni for the 2nd place. Yeah. Still undisputed king of online chess. But it would have been nice to see him play against the Wesley So, but unfortunately things outside of Wesley So's control seem to decide that for us. Either he lost his internet connection or he had other things to attend to, so unfortunately he could not play. But either way, Nakamura wins again. Well done, Mr. Nakamura. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.